Hey everyone, welcome to the Bold and the Beautiful. I'm Amma, and I'm so excited to have you here. If you love Bold and Beautiful update, then you're in the right place. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Alright, let's dive right in. In the opulent glow of the Spencer Mansion's chandelier-lit living room, where crystal glasses clinked like whispered secrets and the air hung heavy with the scent of fresh orchids and old money, Luna Nozawa stood before a full-length mirror, her hand cradling the gentle swell of her abdomen. She was radiant in a silk gown that draped like liquid moonlight over her frame, the fabric whispering against her skin as she turned sideways, admiring the curve that promised everything she'd schemed for. "Look at you," she murmured to her reflection, her voice a soft, triumphant lilt. "Our little ticket to forever. Will's heir, my anchor." The door creaked open behind her, and Katie Logan Spencer swept in, her heels clicking like accusations on the marble floor, her eyes narrowing to slits that could cut glass. "Luna, darling," Katie said, her tone dripping honey laced with venom, "you look positively fertile. But let's dispense with the fairy tale, shall we? That bump isn't a crown, it's a ticking bomb." Luna spun slowly, her smile unwavering, fingers splaying protectively over her belly. "Katie, I know you think this is some desperate ploy, but it's real. Will loves me. This baby changes everything." Katie laughed, a sharp, mirthless sound that echoed off the walls. "Love? Oh, sweetie, Will's a boy playing at manhood. You drugged him, trapped him. And now? You're a murderer waltzing in our home, like you own it. One wrong move, and that everything of yours crumbles." Luna's eyes flashed, but she held her ground, stepping closer, her voice dropping to a conspiratorial hush. "You'd know about wrong moves, wouldn't you? All those years clawing your way into this family, scheming against Brooke, against anyone who stood in your path. But this child, it's spank-er blood. You can't touch that." Katie's lips curled into a predatory smile as she poured herself a scotch from the bar cart, the amber liquid swirling like storm clouds. "Touch it? Luna, I've buried deeper secrets than you could dream of." "But you?" "Shooting up Il Giardino, leaving Tom and Hollis bleeding out like discarded props in your twisted play. Deacon's heartbroken. Steffi's out for blood, and Bill? He's already sharpening the knife. Enjoy your borrowed time, because when that paternity test comes back, and it will, your fairy tale ends in tears. Or worse." The tension in the room thickened like fog rolling in from the Pacific, and as Katie sauntered out, leaving the door ajar like an unspoken threat, Luna sank onto the velvet chaise, her breath coming in shallow bursts. She reached for her phone, dialing the one number that always steadied her chaos, Grandma Sheila, the woman who'd birthed her darkness and called it destiny. The line clicked, and Sheila Carter's voice slithered through, warm yet edged with the rasp of too many close calls. "Luna, my fierce little moonbeam, what's got you calling at this hour? Planning your next gala and trance." Luna's words tumbled out in a rush, laced with the vulnerability she showed no one else. "Grandma, it's Katie. She looks at me like I'm a stain she can't scrub out. And this baby, it's all I have to hold on to Will, but what if they take it? What if they—" Sheila cut her off with a low, soothing chuckle that masked the steel beneath. "Hush now, child. Katie's all bark, no bite unless you let her see your fear. You've got the Spencer name in your veins now, or soon will. Remember who taught you to play the long game?
Me.
That night at Il Giardino, when you pulled the trigger, you didn't just survive. You claimed your power." Luna leaned back, closing her eyes, the memory flickering like a forbidden film reel, the dim restaurant lights, the acrid tang of gunpowder, Tom and Hollis crumpling like paper dolls. "But Grandma Lee knows. She saved me, stitched me up in that dingy safe house, but her eyes, they accuse me every time. And Steffi. She's circling like a shark, whispering to Finn about protecting their precious family from the psycho in turn." Sheila's tone shifted, a mother's growl underscoring her words. "Lee Finnegan's a fool who thinks mercy erases regret. She risked everything for you, her license, her freedom, and now she resents the mirror you hold up to her own buried sins. As for Steffi, that blonde barracuda's always been more Forrester than human. She'll claw at anything that threatens her perfect little empire. But listen to me, Luna. You're pregnant. You're untouchable. No judge, no jury touches a mother-to-be without a scandal that buries them first. Luna's free hand traced lazy circles on her belly, a ritual that grounded her amid the storm. Untouchable? Then why do I feel eyes on me everywhere? Last week, at the obstetrician's, I swear someone followed my car. And Electra, that little Forrester which attacked me in the park, screaming about how I'd poisoned her brother's mind. Sheila paused, the silence heavy with calculation. Electra's just a child lashing out, but don't underestimate her fire. Forresters breed vendettas like rabbits. Keep your head high, my girl. Plot your moves in the shadows. If anyone comes for you, you end them first. Blood or not. As the call ended, Luna stared at the ceiling's intricate molding, her mind a whirlwind of what-ifs, the baby's flutter a tiny rebellion against the dread coiling in her chest. Down the hall, in the study lined with leather-bound ledgers and awards that gleamed like trophies of conquest, Bill Spencer paced like a caged panther, his phone pressed to his ear as he barked orders into the void. I don't care if it's preliminary, get me those results by dawn. And make sure no one leaks a whisper. He slammed the receiver down, raking a hand through his silver-streaked hair, his jaw set in the granite line that had crushed boardrooms and broken hearts alike. The door burst open without a knock, and his son Will stormed in, eyes blazing with the reckless fire of youth betrayed. Dad, tell me you're not doing what I think you are. Luna's carrying my kid. You can't just erase her like some bad dream. Bill whirled, his voice a thunderclap tempered by paternal steel. Erase her? Will, that woman's a venomous snake who slithered into your bed after spiking your drink. She murdered 2 men in cold blood, left a trail of bodies from here to hell, and now she's playing house in our home? I built this empire on protecting what's mine, and that includes you from her. Will collapsed into an armchair, his broad shoulders slumping under the weight of confusion and lingering desire. She says she loves me, Dad. That night, it felt real. And the baby? What if it's innocent in all this? Bill crossed to the decanter, pouring 2 fingers of bourbon and shoving the glass into Will's hand. Innocent? Like Amber was with Liam? I stood on that cliff once, ready to hurl her and what I thought was my grandchild into the abyss because she dared to trap my boy. Luna's no different. She's a predator in Prada, and this love is her leash. Will sipped, the burn matching the ache in his gut. But killing her? During pregnancy? That's not you. That's monstrous. Bill's laugh was bitter, echoing the ghosts of his own ruthless past. Monstrous? Try survival, son. Deacon's unraveling, blaming himself for not seeing the devil in his stepdaughter's eyes. Steffi's rallying the Forresters like it's war, and Lee? That doctor's one regret away from confessing everything to the DA. Luna's a lit fuse in a powder keg, and if she blows, she takes us all with her. We'll set the glass down, rising to face his father, their heights mirroring each other in a tableau of inherited fury. Then let the law handle it. Prison for life, not this. She's changed, Dad. Or, at least, she wants to. Bill gripped his son's shoulder, his touch firm yet fracturing. The law's blind to monsters like her, Will. But I see clear. And if it comes to it, I'll do what fathers do. Protect the pack. Even if it means blood on my hands. Across town, in the sterile hush of a private clinic tucked away from prying eyes, Lee Finnegan scrubbed her hands raw under the faucet, the water running pink-tinged as if washing away not just the day's surgeries, but the stain of her greatest mistake. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead like accusatory wasps, and she glanced at the door, half expecting Luna's shadow to slink through at any moment. Her phone vibrated on the counter, a text from Poppy, frantic and misspelled. Lee, you saved her. Now she haunts us all. End it be, for she drags you down. Lee deleted it with trembling fingers, her reflection in the mirror fractured by regret. Saving Luna after that blood-soaked night at Il Giardino had been an act of defiance against the world that had branded her daughter a monster, but now it was a noose tightening around her own neck. The door swung open, and Finn Finnegan entered, his surgeon's coat slung over one arm, his face a mask of weary concern. "Mom, you look like you haven't slept in days. Is it the board again, or her?" Lee dried her hands, forcing a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Finn, always the protector. It's nothing a strong coffee can't fix." He stepped closer, his voice gentle but probing, the son who'd inherited her precision and her doubts. "It's Luna, isn't it? Steffi's been on edge, talking about how that woman's poison is seeping into everything. And you hit her, Mom. Risked everything. Why?" Lee turned away, busying herself with charting on the computer, her words measured like a confession in a confessional. "Because she's family, Finn. Poppy's child, my responsibility." That night, she was bleeding out, half mad with fear. I couldn't let her die alone in some alley. Finn's hand on her shoulder was warm, grounding. "Family doesn't mean blind loyalty. She killed people, Mom. Tom, Hollis. Good men, gone because of her madness. And now she's pregnant, claiming Will's baby, like a trophy. Steffi thinks she'll come for us next, for threatening her twisted happily ever after." Lee met his gaze in the screen's reflection, her voice cracking like thin ice. "I regret it every waking hour. Hiding her, lying to the police, watching her bloom while those families grieve. Part of me wonders if I should have let her fade away then. A push down the stairs now, or a syringe slipped in her fore. God forgive me for even thinking it." Finn recoiled, his eyes widening in horror. "Mom, that's not you. You're a healer, not this. Talk to me, really talk. If Luna's a threat, we go to Ridge, to the authorities. But murder? That's her game, not ours." Lee sank onto a stool, the weight of unspoken sins bowing her. "Healer? I stitched up a killer, Finn. And now she's carrying new life, mocking us all. If she falls, if that pregnancy ends in tragedy, who would they blame? Me, the one who played God, once already." Finn pulled her into a hug, his embrace a lifeline in the storm. "Then we expose her together. No more secrets. But promise me, no vigilante justice. We're Finns, not Carters." The night deepened over Los Angeles, the city lights twinkling like distant stars indifferent to the dramas unfolding in their shadows, and at Il Giardino, the restaurant that had become a graveyard of ambitions, Deacon Sharp nursed a whiskey at the bar, the polished wood scarred from too many fists and forgotten dreams. The place was closed, the chairs upturned like tombstones, and the air still carried the faint metallic echo of that fateful night. Sheila Carter sidled up beside him, her red lips curving in a smile that didn't touch the calculation in her eyes. "Deacon, brooding suits you, but it's bad for the soul. Or what's left of it." He glanced up, his rugged features etched with a pain that whiskey couldn't dull. "Sheila, you shouldn't be here. Not after everything. Luna's alive, Deacon. Our Luna, the girl I raised, the one who poisoned those drinks and pulled that trigger. How do I live with that?" Sheila slid onto the stool, her hand brushing his in a gesture both comforting and possessive. "By remembering she's mine first, my blood, my fire. She did what she had to survive this viper's nest you call a family." Deacon slammed his glass down, the amber sloshing like spilled rage. "Survive? She murdered Tom and Hollis, Sheila. My friends, gunned down in cold blood, while I played the fool host. And now she's pregnant, ensconced in the Spencer Palace, like a queen. Bill's plotting, Katie's seething. Hell, even Steffi's got that look, the one that says Forrester justice is coming swift and merciless." Sheila's eyes narrowed, her voice a silken thread wound tight. "Bill's a wolf in silk sheets, always has been. Remember Amber? He dangled her over that cliff, baby and all, because she dared dream of his world. Luna's no different in his eyes, a gold-digging killer using my granddaughter's womb as a shield. But if he moves, I'll end him first." Deacon's laugh was hollow, echoing in the empty space. You? The reformed villainess? Sheila, you've clawed your way back from the grave too many times. But this? Protecting a murderer, our daughter, while the world's baying for her blood. It's tearing me apart. She leaned in, her breath warm against his ear, words laced with the dark poetry of shared sins. Tearing? Or forging? Luna's my legacy, Deacon, the best of my chaos and your heart. Electra's already scratched her claws once. Next time, it could be fists or worse. Enli, that sanctimonious surgeon's one confession from unraveling it all. We plot together, or we fall alone. Deacon drained his glass, the burn a pale echo of the fire in his veins. Plot? Like old times? Sheila, I loved you once for your fire, but this, if Luna goes down, she takes us with her. Pregnant or not, that baby's her noose or her crown. And I'm the fool holding the rope. As dawn crept over the horizon, painting the skyline in hues of reluctant gold, Luna slipped from the mansion's side entrance, her coat pulled tight against the chill that had nothing to do with the autumn air. She needed space, air untainted by suspicion, and the secluded garden path behind the estate offered a fragile illusion of peace. Her steps crunched on fallen leaves, each one a reminder of fragility, and she paused by the rose arbor, thorns glinting like accusations in the early light. A rustle in the bushes made her whirl, heart pounding, and there stood Electra Forrester, her teen frame taut with barely leashed fury, eyes like storm clouds ready to burst. You, Electra hissed, stepping forward, her voice a whip-crack in the quiet. Slithering around my brother, like a snake in silk. That baby's a lie, Luna, just like you. Luna backed against the trellis, roses snagging her sleeve like desperate fingers. Electra, please. This isn't about games. I'm carrying life, your niece or nephew. Family. The girl laughed, a jagged sound too old for her years. Family? You poisoned Will's mind, drugged him into your bed. I saw the texts, the lies. And Il Giardino? Blood on your hands, and now you waltz in our world like you belong. Luna's hand flew to her belly, protective instinct flaring. I did what I had to. Survival in this town means fighting dirty, and you Forresters wrote the rules. Your Aunt Brooke, your Grandma Taylor, they've all schemed for less. Electra advanced, fists clenched, her breath coming in angry puffs. Schemed? You killed. Hollis was kind, he was Dad's friend. And for what? To chase a Spencer fantasy? Steffi warned me, said you'd twist anyone, even a baby, into your web. One push, Luna, and it's over. No more threats to my family. Luna's eyes widened, fear mingling with defiance as she sidestepped, thorns drawing pinpricks of blood on her arm. Push me? You'd murder an unborn child for spite? Listen to yourself. You're better than this, Electra. Will loves you. He'd hate you for it. The girl halted, inches away, her face a war of rage and doubt. Hate me? He hates himself for falling for you. And when the truth outs, when Bill or Katie or even Grandma Lee snaps, you'll deserve it. This ends now. With a shove that sent Luna stumbling into the dirt, Electra fled into the shadows, leaving the pregnant woman gasping, clutching her side where a sharp pain bloomed like a warning. Help, Luna whispered to the empty garden, tears streaking her face. Someone, please. Hours later, in the sun-drenched boardroom of Forrester Creations, where fabric swatches lay scattered like fallen soldiers and the air hummed with the clack of keyboards, Steffi Forrester Logan paced before the floor-to-ceiling windows, her blonde hair catching the light like a halo around a storm. Rich Forrester watched from his chair, his artist's hands steepled, concern etching lines deeper than years of family feuds. Steffi, sit. You're wearing a trench in the Persian rug. She whirled, her voice a blade honed by betrayal. Sit? Dad. That lunatic's pregnant, claiming Will's baby like it's her golden ticket out of hell. Luna Nozawa, the same psycho who kidnapped me, shot Liam, turned Il Giardino into a slaughterhouse. And now she's in the Spencer lair, plotting God knows what. Ridge rose, crossing to her, his embrace steady as the designs he'd sketched through decades of chaos. I know, pumpkin. Deacon's gutted. Sheila's circling like a vulture, and Bill? That man's got a ledger of grudges longer than my inseam. But killing her? Even you, with your fire, can't go there. Steffi's laugh was fierce, her eyes flashing sapphire sparks. Can't? She came for Finn once, Dad, drugged him, tied him up, all in her deranged quest for love. Now this? A baby as blackmail. Electra told me she cornered Luna this morning, nearly came to blows. And Lee, Finn's mom, hid her, lied for her. If that unravels, it destroys everything. Ridge guided her to the window, the city sprawling below like a chessboard of rivals. Lee's regret is eating her alive. I see it in her eyes at every gala. Saving Luna was mercy turned millstone. But vigilantes make martyrs, Steffi. We expose her, paternity fraud, the murders. Let the law carve her up. Steffi pulled away, her voice dropping to a venomous whisper. Law? It's bought and buried in this town. Katie's sworn Luna won't wed Will sounded like a eulogy. And Bill? He's the king of cliffs and cover-ups. Remember how he dangled threats over our heads for years? If he moves, it'll be surgical, quiet. A fall, a complication in that pregnancy. Ridge's face darkened, the patriarch's burden heavy. Then we protect our own, without becoming monsters. Talk to Hope, to Brooke, rally the women. But no blood on Forrester hands. Luna's her own grave digger. Steffi nodded, but her mind raced ahead, plotting alliances in the silence, the weight of protection a crown of thorns she wore with pride. Back at the Spencer estate, as twilight bled into the sky like spilled wine, Bill convened his war council in the library, the fire crackling like suppressed rage. Katie perched on the arm of Will's chair, her hand possessive on his shoulder, while Will stared into the flames, lost in the labyrinth of his own heart. The test confirms it, Bill announced, tossing a manila folder onto the coffee table, papers fanning out like accusations. It's yours, son. Congratulations, or condolences. Will snatched the report, scanning the clinical jargon, his voice breaking. So it's real. Our baby. Then why do I feel like we're signing its death warrant? Katie's nails dug into his arm, her smile a scalpel. Because Luna's the warrant, Will. She's a black widow spinning silk from lies. I saw her this morning, glowing like she owns us. But I meant what I said. She'll never be your bride. Not while I breathe. Bill nodded, pouring rounds of scotch, the glasses clinking in grim toast. Katie's right. Deacon called, begging for mercy, saying Sheila's ready to burn the city for her. But mercy's for the worthy. Luna's a cancer, and this pregnancy? Her last gambit. Will surged to his feet, the firelight casting shadows that danced like demons on his face. Last gambit? She's the mother of my child. You talk like she's disposable, Dad, like Amber was to you. I know the stories. The cliff, the rage. Don't make me your echo. Bill's eyes softened fractionally, the titan revealing the father beneath. I won't lie, I'd have ended Amber to save Liam. But you? You're stronger. We don't kill, we contain. Private security on her 24/7, a trust for the kid post-birth, and her? Shipped to some island clinic till she delivers. Clean, quiet. Katie interjected, her voice silk over steel. And if she fights? Poisons the well, tells the press some sob story? Steffi's already whispering to the DA. Lee's cracking. One slip, and it's all over. Will paced, the room closing in like a vice. Fights? She's scared, Katie. Electra shoved her today, bruised, but fighting back. This baby's innocent. Ending her ends it too. Bill raised his glass, eyes locking on his son's. Innocence dies in this world, Will. But legacy endures. We protect ours by any means. Choose, family or her illusion. In the underbelly of the city, where neon flickered like false promises and the hum of traffic drowned secrets, Sheila met her shadow network in a dimly lit booth at a forgotten dive, the air thick with cigarette smoke and unspoken pacts. Lee Finnegan slid in opposite, her white coat traded for a trench that couldn't hide her fraying edges. Sheila, this is madness. Meeting like fugitives because your spawns knocked up the wrong boy. Sheila smirked, sliding an envelope across the scarred table. Photos, documents, leverage in glossy print. Madness? Try motherhood, Lee. You saved her once. Now you hesitate? Luna's carrying Spencer Gold, but they're circling like hyenas. Bill's history with pregnant pawns. Amber's cliff dive rings a bell.